Due to the graphic nature of this program, viewer discretion is advised.
Those are all for bringing their kids to battle. That's right. No battle. No battle. That's right. Those are all for bringing their kids to battle. That's right.
Golden God above our city bright, on this night collectors of people come. Hey Nashville, welcome to the show. I'm here and I'm going to read a stack of poems that I brought with me. Stack of poems. That's how we do it on public access. Anyway, my name is Brian Bertsch, and some of the poems I have to read today have been published in The Contributor, which is one of the best newspapers in town. Its circulation is at about 100,000 per month, so it's pretty good. It publishes poetry, stories about people's lives, and how they're overcoming a lot of obstacles. So the next time you see somebody out there, one of my poems, because that's the only place I'm going to publish my poetry right now is the homeless papers. So let's start this thing off. Star people. This is for the little people up there and the UFOs, in case they're watching. You know. No, I'm not a nut, but they could exist, and they could help the homeless out too. Star people. Interdimensional beings of light, Buddha levitating in space. Ripples of color tear the spectrum of time. Imagine drifting through wormholes and finding life on other planets, other worlds beyond our own. The floating people tell us that we're not alone. We are star children. We are the children of Mu. We are the ancestry of Atlantis. We can make time ripple or stop. Interdimensional beings of light, Buddha levitating in space. This is the face of God up close. This is the cosmos. We welcome you in to be a universal friend. I had a vision once of a stop sign. I looked at it and I thought, wow, if there's a peace sign behind it and it said stop war, that'd be kind of cool. So I closed my eyes and thought about the scenario, and I think this is how it would break down. Peaceville. I went down Lennon Street on the corner of Gandhi Avenue. I saw a stop sign with a peace sign. In the background, the sign read, "Stop War." I looked around and there were no businesses, just sidewalk prophets holding up messages on banners. They would yell out, "Love, hope, and freedom." I think that I was dreaming. Someone handed me a sign that read, "Be a leader of your own times." Then I was screaming, singing, and dancing. I saw Jim Morrison on Love Street, a block away. In a field nearby, Mother Teresa gave food away. Yoko handed out blood-stained, painted bags. The people were walking and talking. This neighborhood was abuzz. This neighborhood seemed to be utopia. So I vowed never to leave. But Jim said, if you don't tell the world about this place, no one will believe it exists. He insisted that I spread visionary prophecy to destroy the atrocity of war and hate. Mother Teresa said, you can make people relate to a cause. So I took a picture in my mind. I envisioned peace signs. I closed my eyes, and when I blinked, I found myself on the corner of Haight Street and Payne Avenue. The people had no signs. The sidewalk prophets were gone, so I sang songs and danced like a fool. I knew I could be a prophet in the city of lost hope. A while back, a friend of mine was talking to me. In fact, the person that's filming this said something about the poem, said you become a full-fledged weirdo. Basically, that's when you're not going to get any more government awards like I used to get from senators, because your poems are about the people. And I think we the people could rule ourselves if we chose to, but the problem is we don't govern ourselves properly. So, full-fledged weirdo is about the people. So, vote for yourself in the next primary and see if you win. You might win. Full-fledged weirdo. Politically motivated, radically associated, able to defeat classism in a single bound. Here to expound on truth the media buries, because truth is scary to those in charge. Tired of just being shock value material. I'm ready to make the new beat generation click. Tired of being hip. I know it's all jive talk. Here to walk the walk with a sign in hand that reads, "Free everyone, man." I've got a plan. Undo laws against unlawful camping. I'm stamping revolutionary on my forehead. We can achieve justice without a warhead. We can get our point across without any guns. Our minds are a weapon to clear all deceptions. In the mirror of truth, there is a clear reflection. Full-fledged weirdo in the eyes of the 1%. Genius in the hearts of the 99%. Tired of corporations bringing the people down. Ready to uplift mom and pop. Ready to put out a CD and watch it drop. Full-fledged weirdo and hero to the people on the streets. Yeah, just a full-fledged weirdo. Not worrying if I'm considered a zero in the eyes of the leaders. I've got a plan. I understand the common man's plight. I'm tired of the bad people winning the fight. Full-fledged weirdo for the truth, not your government follower. Not gonna live in a suit. We don't need destruction. We don't need to uplift corruption. All we need is an interruption of war and hate, so we can all relate to one another. Can you dig it? Can you get with it? Another thing I've been worrying about too is music and art, and I noticed a lot of things we're doing, like we do a remix of the remix, and you done bought that CD, and the guy's selling you another one so he can buy some more bling bling. Meanwhile, we're having a recession, and he's showing you his new Mercedes, and you're making the guy richer on the TV. So I thought about whatever happened to the primary function of art. And this is Untitled Art Poem. Whatever happened to the primary function of art? Manifestos were written on rooftops by beats and beat-influenced artists. The blues blended with rock, and soon it was no normal sock hop. Pat Boone's white shoes were replaced with blue suede. Andy Warhol was painting in every shade and hue. Now what do we do? Remix the remix, dubstep every song uttered. It's as if we've kicked out creativity and put it in the gutter. Where are the innovators, progressing like pioneers of film and sound? I want to be original and bring everything back around. Let's make it a retro scene and dig on the Scream Queen in black and white. I'm ready to take technology to a new phase. Where is my hologram TV sitting there with a flat base? One click of a button and the actors are in my place. I'm ready to create holographic actors that have never been. I will program their voices in. Verse and Vision. When my dad was alive, I was putting out a paper called Verse and Vision, and I had this really great lettering for it years ago, but this title stuck in my head. And recently, the gods spoke to me. The gods I'm speaking about are literary gods, music gods. And what I heard in my head, basically from all the books I've read and things I've seen, was this. The gods have spoken, telling me to make my art Hoboken, to to make images broken like shattered glass, to show faces smiling from a blade of grass. For me to be Picasso, an iconoclast. The great writers speak through my soul. Jim Morrison says, "Let it roll." John Lennon reminds me to be articulate with soul. I know there are many stories to be told. The gods have spoken, and I must paint a dream. There are murmurs of birds in an early morning scene. There is thunder as Edgar Allan Poe tells of a darkened eve. I must believe it to be true as my painter's fingers are stained metallic blue. The gods have spoken and I am in awe. On this early morn, greeting a new day, I only see in shades of gray. I am in between two realities that could not exist, yet still the inspiration persists. So I enlist all my ability in words and images to deliver words pristine, to be the artist who can create anything. This is an interesting piece, and it's called Poet. It was published in The Contributor here in Nashville, and they didn't edit it. I sent it to a homeless paper in Washington, D.C., which I will not name their name, and I was told we can't talk about the 99% or the 1% because classism isn't allowed to be talked about, otherwise we might get shut down. So I was like, okay, and it's published right now, and I sound like a socialist there. They made me actually say, I want equal tax brackets all the way across. So if you're seeing this in Washington, it was really edited. But this is the real deal. Poet. A poet dares to see the unfathomable. The words are direct like a deadly spear piercing the flesh on the hunt. The poet describes what they haven't got, but what they want. I have dedicated much poetic prose to peace, only to see death. I have observed the rest of humanity wasting each day with petty hate. I cannot relate to the cause. I cannot support inhumane laws against the poor. Instead, I give back by feeding a homeless person some lunch. I try to listen to the dregs of society, whose voices are silenced of speech. My church door is nature and a lonely dream. My song is a piercing scream of a peaceful revolution. I do not believe in institutions that waste taxes. I only see puppets at the 1% level with better tax brackets. I am a revolutionary of truth that is real. I feel the pain of the wounded beast about to die. I hear the lost as they cry. I have been among the lost in the economic holocaust. I sail the seas of desperation with a sinking raft. I watch setting suns, and when it rains, thunderclaps. Lightning and thunder rumble through my soul. I know that I am a poet of the modern beat. I walk its streets in praise of the change to come. I am numb to the lies offered as truth. I distribute the words of power. In this hour, we take control. We are the soul and nexus. Only love connects us to our higher cause. And really, that's what this new poetry is about. It's about the new beat, something I'd like to introduce to you. The old beat poets were tired of what they were told to do. And really, they partied a lot. They had a good time. Jack Kerouac wrote a lot of novels on things that sped him up. But now we don't need drugs. Now we need to write, to create, and to become everything we can be because we know what they do to people. To me, the new beat is about people caring about the world, using their writing to help each other and make it a better place. And I think the forefathers of the beat movement would look at us and like it. So here's another one. This is Tent City, and Tent City was a great place. A bunch of people lived down there, tax-free. It was a city within a city. And really, you should write all your leaders and tell them, Allow people to live within cities, in the woods. Because right now, everybody's broke and we all need a helping hand. And this is an old piece. So here we go, Tent City. A mass community of transient people come together in unity. The city views this group as rebels to its taxes and home ownership axis. It is not practical to live with a campfire as a stove. There is talk about disbanding this clan. However, most of the people have nowhere to go. The government knows downtown Nashville would be flooded. Riverfront Park covered in campfires, sleeping bags, and tents, all in views of the eyes of the tourists. As cold weather progresses and jobs are lost, more people become homeless. Once they were respected citizens with a life. Now they must carry their possessions in a backpack. Now they must sleep at the rescue mission in the Salvation Army. A mass community of wandering nomads search for a home. We are taught that you can fight in a foreign land, yet we live in a country that does not understand the American veteran. So easily we forget that tent cities exist in every state. In these camps the poor relate. They do not see your W-2 or W-4. There is no newspaper by the door. Nashville, you've forgotten to be a friend. It's time that you begin to see the homeless in Tennessee. Unfortunately, due to Governor Haslam, we can't have tent cities because Occupy was there and he wanted to stop it. So he basically did this thing where he got rid of Occupy, but the law also affected the homeless. So now if you go camping and you get caught in a bad area, $2,500 fine or $11.29 in jail. So this poem is very vintage, and if you are out there camping, make sure you're in an area you cannot be seen in. Don't tell anybody where your campsite is, especially a government official. Just a little commentary. Universalist. This is my spiritual views. I worship the universal God who has no denomination. My temple is air, land, and sky. My brothers and sisters are both rich and poor. We all shall dine by any church door. We see no color to skin. We only look within. I praise Buddha, Gandhi, and Christ. I reach out my hand and touch spirals of light. My 10% goes to the lost who call the streets their home. My mind seeks answers to the questions unknown. I worship the spirit of humanity striving to succeed. Whatever God is, I feel the calling and I believe. My God is composed of all things created. My mind has meditated. I am one with both man and beast. I am friends to those with the least of the earth's riches. I worship a universal God who sees all as one. And a while back I was thinking about how tough it is in the workforce, you know, for those who do have jobs and everything. And I wrote this when I was working in a little wing place and didn't really like it that much. And I wound up going to a better job, but the art of living was pretty tough back then, so I had to make a good art of it. This is the art of living. You make it day to day knowing there are bills to pay and jobs to keep. The fear of eviction and life on the street keeps you on your feet. For those one step away from homelessness, it makes a small apartment a castle abode. For those on the street, there is an encampment. A campfire serves as a heater and a stove. A makeshift shack becomes a castle. The art of living makes it a hassle to be an artist. In today's world, the silent worker is the smartest. You do your 9 to 5, scraping all your change to stay alive. You follow hobbies that are the ultimate dream. In between regret and worry, you hurry with the pace. It's a rat race to the end of a monetary maze. It's a workforce where you hope to graze. It's a blessing not to sleep outside. The prize is comfort and a bed. Here you rest to wake up and stay ahead. This one right here is very interesting. It's called Now for Peace, and it's my political plan for the world. Are you tired of people going to war and body bags coming back and everything? Well, let's fire every political leader that wants to go to war. I'm serious. If you see a leader about to go to war, write them a letter and say, quit right now. If we did this worldwide, no matter the color of the flag, these people would quit. Or feel the pressure at least. This is Now for Peace. At this moment, all wars cease. We the people demand peace from our leaders. It doesn't matter from what country or the colors of your flag. If you wage a war, we the people of the world ask you to pack your bag, resign and quit, strip yourself of a title, please desist. There are no hard feelings, we are just tired of body bags with family inside. If you are so angry at another leader, step inside a boxing ring, and we will bring popcorn to see who wins. We will invite friends to watch your mini war. You beat each other up. The people don't want to fight anymore. As for taxes, why don't you take a pay cut? We pay enough taxes as it is. Or you could do the job for free. Everyone knows most politicians are already rich. We're sick of elected officials bleeding our dimes. We're ready for real leaders with the people in mind. We didn't elect you to torture the poor with camping laws. We didn't elect you to jail the poor. If you don't like these ideas, there's a door. We the people of the world demand peace now. And if we all demanded peace, there'd be no problem. In other words, your leader goes to war, you tell him put on boxing gloves and go beat up that other guy. And we could watch. It would be great. And this one was actually written out of an experiment, and it's a thing you do, surrealists do it. Literally sit there and write for 3 minutes without thinking, whatever comes out of your brain. And if you can't think of what to write, you actually say to yourself, I can't write, until something comes out. But this came out of my head when I did this surrealist exercise. Poetic exercise and surreal movement. Clear blue sky of day gone awry. Dream of fantasy and interdimensional rationality. Sleek black cars driving nowhere yet going fast. Blink of an eye to record subatomic moment of truth, beauty, wisdom, and powers. Ghost whispering thoughts of yesterday in singular tones. The bones of old sailors dragging themselves across a sea of green. Animals and parasitic creatures feeding off each other and everyone. Lunges with weapons carved from trees. An afternoon breeze in a hot, humid place. A distorted face leering at you as if to say, smile like me. A strange box sealed tight at all seams. How is it opened? Red is blue and blue is green. Abstract menagerie of nothing and everything as a whole, clumped into one hodgepodge ideal. A smile and sneer, a lost, hopeless being screaming no when the answer is yes. A desire, a fire, a swirling light in a dark place, to be nothing when you feel there is nothing more but to be great, to know the doors can open and close, to love and laugh. And this is a fun one. If you feel like being a real revolutionary, occupy the world. Remove the greed and give everyone a home. Save the meek who die on the streets cold and alone. Be the metaphor of welfare and share a meal. That way there are no scraps and we all get our fill. Educate the people no matter what the crime committed. Solicit a better society. Forgive the first-time felon so that you can get college loans. Occupy the world and remove the greed. Give us a reason to believe. Be anonymous in kind actions. Together we can feed the poor. Open your doors and let the homeless sleep. It's better than a bedroll on the street. Let the poor build cities within cities from your trash and debris. Enforce living free. Quit hating 'cause In this tent cities, there's no taxes. Very different than your social axis. No hate crime and murder. No being arrested for vagrancy because you're on the move. You got a backpack and nothing to lose. Occupy the world now. Basically, America has been bought. That politician you're about to elect, as good as he is, whoever it is, has been bought. And how they do this is how you buy a politician. The ones that give the most money, millions of dollars, they want something out of the deal. So they're going to give them some cash. So let's all hope, the best politician gets it, and we know who that is. It's not that space alien Romney, because if we elect him, he'll have us all really living in tent cities. Bought. We have been bought and sold with labels. We are gauged socially by the brand of our jeans. We are seen as sheep with cash and credit cards. Our leaders have made health care become a commodity. They are prodigies of the Reagan era which never trickled down. They cost a higher price than me and you. They do what the corporations tell them to. So if you want to buy a politician's favor, make billions and give to their campaign. In return, they will help you sell your fancy logo. It's not who you are, it's who you know. America has been bought and sold, and the corporations got the golden ticket. If you don't like it, they don't care if you don't dig it. So buy from mom and pop. Save your nickels and dimes. It's time the leaders and corporate executives will see the people have freed themselves. Paradise Draft 1. I want to be a writer, far more complex and compelling than any narrative that I have ever created or flowed. My imaginary setting is an ocean scene with a vast stretch of beach. The waves washing onto the shore in white froth from clear water. The almost golden sand becomes wet from each revolution of the waves. I appear as if I were watching the scene from a cliffside view and am magically transported towards the beach, hovering in lotus position with arms outstretched, carrying with me a gaze of ecstasy and elation. In this setting, I am on the shore, feeling the water rush in. Here I feel joy from the isolation of the outside world. The sounds of the cities, cars, and hum of power lines are removed from my mind. The chatter of crowds is also silenced and replaced with sounds of birds fluttering in the distance. When I close my eyes, images of Buddha cascade across the skies of ever-changing hue. The warmth of the midday sun warms my skin. I breathe in the cool breeze, inhaling slowly and exhaling a sigh. I am free. Hope you've enjoyed everything, and stay tuned for the next program. It's really interesting. Channel 19.